Hey everyone, it's Rae from the Teach Better team, and we are live with the almighty Dr. Dave Schmittou. Dave, I'm so stoked to talk with you all about leadership, the brand new course in the Teach Better Academy, and really anything else that comes up because it is you and me going live. So I'm excited. Make sure if you're tuning in right now, you are throwing your excitement in the comments as well. And hey, if anybody has any questions on leadership, we'll be right back to talk about that. Hey everyone, it's Rae from the Teach Better team and Dave from the Teach Better team. And buddy, I'm excited that we get to go live together because you've been live literally with everyone else, it seems like, over the past few weeks, and I get jealous. So I'm thrilled that we get to go live and talk up a little bit this evening.
The true story, Rae, is that this was always the end game. Those were always just like, it was like the stepping stones to get to this moment. So I've reached the pinnacle. It's all downhill from here.
You know what? I just appreciate that you're alive with me because while I know you're lying to my face on camera, I'm still thrilled to be live with you because I actually have you up like on a pedestal in my mind, which you've warned me about. You told me that you don't belong there, but you really are up there. I mean, right or wrong, Jeff Gargas called me about an hour ago before the administrative mastermind, and we actually talked about you. So are your ears burning all day long?
Well, I just assume you're always talking about me, Rae, so I'll just leave that there. And
there we go. Oh my gosh. I do appreciate some comments that we have thrown in. People so excited. We are thrilled to be talking about Dave's new course. For those of you who've been living under a rock, which wouldn't surprise us, guys, 2020. I mean, we've all done it. But Dave Schmittou did a brand new course in our Teach Better Academy. And I'm really excited to talk about it, Dave, because I've gotten to explore it. I got to see the process of you designing the course and then now seeing it out. I've actually been able to hear people who have taken the course and their feedback. And I just want to thank you before we get started for putting all this information in one spot for people to go check out. That was very, very nice of you.
Well, absolutely. It was actually kind of easy to put together. You know, when I first started talking to you and to Jeff about the course, and we were talking through it, and you very clearly articulated, maybe it was Jeff said, you don't have to have the answers. It's okay to talk about your mistakes. I was like, oh, then let's do this. I can definitely design a course just filled with my mistakes and my history and all the things I did wrong to show people just do the opposite of what Schmittou did, and you'll be just fine. So honestly, when you go through this course, you'll hear quite a few stories of things that I did horribly wrong. But just like with my teenage son, sometimes you got to tell them the horror stories so that they can find the right path along the way as well.
But I like that storytelling. I do want to get into the content. Like we're going to share a bunch of stuff in this live video, but Dave, I really like that it is story focused because a lot of the videos that are in each module are only like 3 to 5 minutes long, super manageable to like play one during a plan period or to like sit down on a Saturday and actually dive into a few of those videos and activities. But I think that telling the story is kind of how you bring like real life into, you know, sharing with people the things you've learned. Because if you just say, hey, you should do X, Y, and Z, a lot of people are going to sit back and be like, well, why should I do that? And I really like that your element was, well, I've tried, you know, A, B, C, and it didn't work. So this is why I like the other options.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'll compliment you a little bit, Rae, but I think that's why so many people gravitate to you when you're on a platform like this, because you just do this amazing job of telling the story. It's not just, here's a cool tool, here's a cool trick that you can try. You tell the story. And the best leaders, the best teachers, the best educators are storytellers in their purest sense. So you've got to tell a story to get a message across often. You've got to be able to tell the story to explain the data. You got to tell a story to explain the research. If you can't tell a story, you're not going to get through.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm glad that resonates with people because I feel like some people just do that naturally. I feel like I'm an oversharer sometimes. I like to share stories about, failures, successes, and then all the moments in between. And I actually feel like that's why I also like seeing you on camera. That's why I like this course, is you feel very approachable. And that's the type of coach I need. I know we talked about this before, Dave, but I'm a part of like an athletic thing that you pay for. It gives you yoga classes. And one of the things I love about the program I use is that it's not about what classes you want to take, but the type of instructor you want. And I kind of felt that way taking your class, as I was like, oh, because I really like the type of coach you are. And so therefore the material, I can consume it easier. I don't know if that makes sense, but it really made an impact for me.
No, it takes me back to college. I can remember when I went to college, we had to go through this old paper program guide to figure out what courses you're going to take. Do you know what paper is, Rae? Have you seen that before? Okay. Yeah. No. So I used to have to go through this program guide, and it would tell you the courses, and then next to it, it would tell you the professor's name. And oftentimes there were 2 or 3 courses taught by 2 or 3 different professors. I can't tell you how many times I picked a class just simply because of who the person was that was teaching it, as opposed to what the content of the class was. Because I always felt like I can always get something out of that person way more than I can out of a different course, maybe with a different designator, because that person is teaching it. So yeah, that speaks to me.
No, I totally agree. Hey to everybody, by the way, we're popping all the comments up, like Brad, Patty, Candace, Megan, and Adam. It's so good to see you. With Brianna here. Oh, so fun that you guys are popping in. I'm glad we're able to just talk about Dave's course, and I'm so thrilled that you guys are here to contribute as well. I think the instructor is a big piece of that equation, and that's really why I really valued this course. But one of the elements that I also enjoyed is that with all the content you shared, you're really trying to give people like strategic takeaways that aren't just these like big picture, go inspire people, it's really like tangible. Can you speak a little bit about why you designed a course in Teach Better Academy that had those strategic takeaways versus just kind of like preaching to the masses saying, hey, leadership is important. You should inspire those around you.
So oftentimes when I speak to you, Rae, I get myself in trouble because you bring out just the honest truth. So let me just be very real and honest and transparent. So most educational leaders, most administrators, most people that have a placard, a leather chair, mini fridge, all of the things that I jokingly say that administrators have. Yep. Most of those people get their leadership training by going to a college, a university, getting a certificate, following a degree program, which is all great, which is all good. This is where I'm going to get myself in trouble, though. But I also know that most of those programs, most of those courses are very theoretical based. They're based off of research. You go and you dive into a bunch of peer-reviewed journals. You write a bunch of papers, all in abstract, all in theory. You don't really get to navigate the practical. It is the practical, though, that I think people are desperate for. It's the stuff that people are craving. And it's the stuff that most leaders don't get. We see this in our mastermind every Tuesday. We get so many people showing up because they crave just conversations on how to grow as a leader that they have never really received before. So they lean into each other to say, just give me something that I can take away and use in my building, in my school, in my system tomorrow. So that's what this course was really designed for, was to equip people with actual tools they could use that they wouldn't have to just sit back and meditate on and think about for a year before they could figure out the next course of action. It was take this course, maybe think a little bit, but go do something different tomorrow.
Well, that's something I really appreciated about kind of the process you went through on the team, because you're, not to call you out, but you're kind of new to the Teach Better team. You've been in the family for a while. You were a Teach Better ambassador. And then we were like, Dave, come join the dark side, right? Like come be on the team. And we did that for a lot of reasons, but one of which is your skill set to run our administrative mastermind is insane. That mastermind that happens twice a week, once in the morning on Tuesdays and once in the afternoon, is really a space, like you just said, where people come together and they don't want to talk about theory and data. They want to talk strategy. And a lot of them have given you feedback. And I've been just blessed to be able to hear all of the outcomes of these pieces, that they're able to go into their buildings Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and implement those things. So for you to be able to do that for a series of weeks, a series of months, and then bring this course to the academy, I felt like it was extremely serendipitous, where you could take all this information that you've been collecting throughout your life and all this feedback from administrators that are already in our network and say, here's what we've learned so far. What do you think?
Yeah. And I want to clarify a couple of things. Mm-hmm. I don't want people to think that this course is Dave Schmittou standing up on a soapbox preaching, saying, here, this is the answer. Simply follow my lead. If anything else, it's really the exact opposite. It does highlight a lot of the mistakes I've made, but Brad Hughes points out that sometimes it's just asking questions.
Yeah.
You know, the idea of learning how to reflect is a skill that truly has to be learned. Yeah. We have to figure out how to reflect. Reflection, you know, let's go back and we'll talk some of that research and theory. Bloom's taxonomy that now everybody has talked about web stuff of knowledge about. I'm going to use Bloom's taxonomy for a minute. Is that little pyramid, and we climb up from understanding and knowledge and synthesis, application, all of that. You get to the top, and we tend to think that the very top is evaluation and creation. If Dave Schmidt were to reinvent that, I would put another level at the top, reflection. Because after you've created something, sitting back and trying to really figure out if what you created is as good as it can be, and looking at yourself and evaluating something that you just created is such a difficult skill. We're very good at evaluating other people. It is so excruciatingly difficult to learn how to evaluate ourselves. So throughout this course, I tried my best to equip people with some skills and some activities, some protocols, just to help them look in the mirror and figure out who they are as leaders, so that they can figure out how to take that next step forward.
I do want to just tell you, Dave, and this probably isn't appropriate to say on a live video, just so you, like, I'm prefacing that, okay? So I was on a video call doing some prep work with team members of the Teach Better team. Not going to say who. We were on a video call and we were talking about like how I'd love to get them on camera more, because they're just the members of the Teach Better family, whether you're a part of the team, an ambassador, or part of our network, they have so much to share. So this conversation was with somebody that I'm like, you need to share your voice more often. And they literally were like, okay, but can you just be careful when you put me live with Dave Schmitto? Because he asks really hard questions. And I'm like, yes, but they're the best questions. Like, he makes you think. Dave, how many times have we been in a conversation, whether it be a live video or on a phone call, and you've asked something and I'm like, hold on, guys, I need to really think through this one. And my face looks all jumbled, because you make people think, Dave. You make people think.
Well, to be honest, the reason I ask so many questions is because I don't have a lot of answers. I mean, that's the reality. I ask questions because I'm seeking clarity. A lot of times the questions that I ask are simply things that are swirling around in my own head that I'm wrestling with. So don't think I ask a question just to set you up. It is because I need your help.
No, it's for the best of intentions, and you get incredible results. I've listened to you so many times on video, Dave, where you are talking with someone else and I get to be in the audience. I get to be commenting on Facebook or Twitter or, YouTube, wherever I'm watching, and I'm just soaking it all in. And you really foster great discussion. And that's why this course, I think, is going to fit so well with any single educator who considers themselves a leader. It doesn't need to be in your title to take this course, because I liked it, and I don't have the leader title in my school. I'm just a classroom teacher.
Oh, don't get me started, Rae.
No, but let me tell you, Dave, there was so many tips in this course that I'm like, I don't have a type 75, but this course was up my alley. And I think that that's important if you're listening, that like, if you choose to be a leader every day, this is a great course to challenge your thinking.
No, first of all, I appreciate all of that. But just to take it into the course itself, we call the course Leading by Empowering. I think that is one of the major principles, or the essence of what it's all about, what empowerment really is. It's not about you having the answers. It's equipping other people to feel like they can go find it for themselves. You say you're just a teacher, and we're not going to go down that track right now.
Okay, but
you know this.
Have you seen the Aspire swag in the Teach Better?
Yes, yes.
The quote, like, I'm not just a teacher. It's so good, guys. Go look that swag up. Joshua Stamper's Aspire line is so good.
But the reality is, as this just a teacher, you're leading a couple hundred kids through their learning journey. Through as a leader of a school, the only thing that separates you from me is I'm equipped and charged to lead adults. You lead way more people than I do. You lead future leaders. You lead an entire generation, which is way more powerful and influential. All of that to say, this idea of empowering, this as well. When you get observed, when you get evaluated by your administrator, they're looking to see if you are empowering your students to take control of their own learning. They're checking to see if you're simply a facilitator, or are you that person up on the pulpit preaching. They want to know, are you the person up in front, or are you the person beside? And it's the same thing with leadership in schools. If you are that leader by title, you need to become that person on the side. Ask more questions. Don't provide answers all the time. I mentioned in the course that I learned through my journey that the more answers I had, the fewer people came to ask me questions. And it is so true. And you'll see that in schools too. If you're just constantly giving people answers, people don't come to you to ask questions anymore. However, if you ask questions, you'll get a lot more people coming to you with ideas. And that's the ultimate goal. Get as many ideas on the table as possible so you can make the best decisions possible.
I have to tell you, Dave, I'm fortunate enough to be a part of a lot of discussions that I consider professional development. But truly, because of your course, because of being connected to you, because of some aspirations I have in the future, I really do want to take some time learning about leadership. That's never been something that I've studied, quote unquote. And I think this course is a perfect step for me, for a lot of educators who are like, listen, I don't know that I'll ever be a principal. I won't, by the way. I won't ever be a principal, but I don't know that will ever be a realm I'll go down. But I do want to know how I can effectively empower people around me. And it can be students like you shared. It can be parents. It can be community members. I really like that everything you've been able to share in this course, but then also obviously in all the other content you do, it's helpful. And I appreciate people who try to be helpful. And it's strategic. I really appreciate it.
Well, and strategy, I don't know if this was any part of anybody's strategy or not, but the way the course is designed is it's not, the idea is not to slap anybody across the face and say, you are not a leader unless you do X, Y, or Z. That's not how it's presented at all, because it's not true. There are a lot of different leaders that do things a lot of different ways. But this is a course that you could gift to your administrator without offending them. You could simply say, hey, I heard about this thing. Why don't you take this over the next 2 weeks? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or you could phrase it as, I want to be a leader. I can't really find the program that fits me. I don't want to go spend $10,000 on a degree. Do you think that you could provide me the resources to sign up for this course so I can sharpen my own skills? Now is the perfect time to make those asks or to make those gifts to people, because again, it's not designed to challenge anybody in a negative sense. It's simply, let's empower each other. Let's figure out how to collaborate and bring more ideas to the table.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head that this is a course that you can choose to take for yourself. But if you're thinking of somebody that you can share this with, there are really appropriate ways that isn't like offensive to be like, hey, you might find this interesting. And I like your idea of, hey, I want to take this. And in that sense, you're introducing them to it, but you're also sharing that you yourself want to explore the content. And then the flip side, I share blogs with people all the time. Like I send them via email. I'll see something and I'll be like, hey, I thought this would interest you. You don't need to explain a big thing of, it's not that I didn't think you were a good leader. I just thought, like, no, like, I don't know this. I came across this. This sounds like your mindset. If you want to check this out, like this came across my news feed. And I really love sharing resources with people because to your point, Dave, it's not like here's the answer. It's a beginning of the exploration. And people like to not only be thought of, but they also like resources that like take them down rabbit holes that allow them to be better,
Right. And, I'll take this to your point of just a teacher. I want to talk through that piece again, too. This isn't necessarily just a course just for administrators. So a perfect example, the last school that I was a principal of, they had a leader that did not quite operate the way that I operate. They had a leader prior to me who was very assertive, knew what they wanted, very directive, very explicit, had a very unique style. And then I walk in. And I am much different. Obviously, I tend to be more Socratic, more investigative, more inquiry focused, try to be more collaborative. And as open as I was, that first year was a struggle because those people had no idea what to expect from me. They had no idea how to handle asking questions and not just being given directives. They had no idea I'm giving them all this power. They had no idea what to do with it. They had no idea how to make decisions because nobody had ever equipped them to make those decisions. This is a course that had, I don't know if this would have even been possible. It's like one of those Back to the Future moments. Had I had the opportunity to make this video and send it to those teachers before I became that administrator, it could have helped them as teachers. Yeah. The name of the game is, you might be one of those administrators that says, I just want my teachers to take a lead. I want my teachers to start taking some more ownership. I want to entrust them. I want to empower them, but they don't quite trust me to do that yet. This could be an amazing opportunity to walk beside them in a course like this. You take it right along with them, walk with them on this journey, figure out if there's any of the protocols and processes that are presented in here that you want to collectively agree to partake in, and then make that journey together so you can continue to grow in that collaborative space.
So Dave, I do want to scold us a little bit. We've been live for 20 minutes and literally I'm like fired up. Like I am like so amped talking about this and I have like 17 more questions, but we literally have not mentioned how they can go get the course. So can we dive into some of those like nitty gritty details if they're like singing rah rah at the other end of their like phone or computer watching this and they're like, but how do you take it? Do you know the details? Or do you want me to share them? What's
Go for it. You break it down. Break it down.
All right. Here's the breakdown. It's very challenging. You go to teachbetteracademy.com and you have two choices. You can either become a Teach Better Academy member or you can buy the course outright. Now, I'm not supposed to say this, but I don't really care. I have a 25% out code that definitely doesn't come out until Thursday, but I literally don't care. It's Better Holiday. So if you like no space, BETTER holiday, it may not work until Thursday, but like write it down or something. It's a 25% off of the course. And I know that comes out Thursday and I know that you're not supposed to have it, but too bad. All right, moving on from there. Also, I really recommend you do not buy the course outright because the membership is way cheaper. And you can cancel it at any time, which I'm sure I'm also not supposed to tell you, but it's only $9 a month. So sign up for the Academy membership, go take Dave's course, and then you can cancel it if you don't want the membership anymore. But you can see all the details at teachbetteracademy.com. And I'm sorry, hopefully Jeff Gargas doesn't see all the things that I just shared. Sorry.
He'll make up for it tomorrow in the brain break. No worries. He'll try to do you one better.
Exactly. He's always picking on me. I think I'm allowed to share trade secrets on a live on a Tuesday night. I'm pretty sure it's fine.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
No, I'm excited for people to go check out this course. Like I said, I have explored it. I have not gone all the way through yet. I'd love to actually collaborate with somebody. I would love to like have you take the first few modules and then have us talk shop. I really, really need a collaborative partner when I learn. So if any of you right now are taking this course, like DM me and let's keep chatting because I really have loved the content I've gone through so far and definitely need like a buddy to go through the rest for sure. So I always appreciate getting to learn with other people.
So Rae, as you're giving stuff away, are we allowed to talk about the stuff that's actually in the course? I know we're talking kind of abstractly so far. Can we kind of just like, is that okay or no?
Yeah, I say we give away as much as possible. Do you have like, what's your favorite part of the course? Can I ask you that? I wonder if I'm there or not.
Wow. That's a tough one. It's like, which of my 4 kids do I love the best?
I know.
Well, it depends on the day.
I have asked you that before and you like have alluded that there might be an answer. So this is fine.
Well, it really depends on the day and the time of day and what I'm looking to get out of the equation. So same thing with the course. The course is designed with 6 modules and the modules are sort of lessons in and of themselves that you can unpack depending on the day, the time, what you need. So there's one just allowing people to explore who they are so they can figure out where they're going to go. It's kind of like the foundational, just set the tone. Then there's one about having some of those conversations that we tend to avoid. I'm a big believer that taboo topics don't belong in education. That often we stay in the status quo because we avoid some of those big conversations. And I don't necessarily mean those crucial conversations like when somebody is struggling how to talk, but how to bring some of the bigger conversations that we always want to avoid, how to put those on the surface and how to talk through those in a collaborative way, which that might be my favorite because that's something I love doing. But I know it's not a place that everybody wants to be. There's another module talking about how to model expected behaviors. It's called What We Do, They Do. So how you as the leader act and behave impacts how teachers act and behave, which impacts how teachers act and behave. Prime example, we tell teachers all the time to stand out in their hallway and greet kids between every single class. And yet administrators tend to be in their office when teachers show up every single day. If we want teachers to be out greeting kids, we need to be out greeting teachers. If we want to have collaboration and cooperation, we need to be collaborative and cooperative. Lots of examples through in there. Another one called It's Nice Meeting You, how to have an actual staff meeting or professional development that people want to show up at, where they don't just want to hide in the back of the room and grade papers, but they actually want to be a part of and actually be engaged in. Another one, Drill and Kill doesn't work for kids or adults. How to get people to learn, how to get people to grow without being preached at. And then just the last one is just other places they can go, reading podcasts, other places that they can go to get more information. So I did not answer the question at all, which one is my favorite. It really does depend on what I'm trying to learn, what I'm trying to grow with. I think that's kind of the cool thing about this course is it's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. You don't have to start on page 1 and end on page 15. It's grab the module that resonates with you and what you need at any time and and attack it.
So I have questions about the staff meeting one because I haven't gotten to that one yet. And I just want to tell you, I love the people I teach with. I love my administrative team. I have nothing but like love and aspiration for where I work. Truly, 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 truly. Christopher McGraw, I swear that's true, my principal. However, staff meetings, sometimes not my fave. Not to say they're horrible. Sometimes not my favorite. Can you give me like what's the secret, Dave? Like, do you have like a bar option when teachers walk in? They're like, ooh, for me, a big help is like sprinkled donuts. That does make an impact on my staff meetings. But is that the strategies you're sharing?
Actually, no, not at all. Not at all. Because I think those are things people have tried for years. And all it does is get us excited to walk in the door. And as soon as the donut is gone, then we're staring at the clock.
No. Then you grab another sprinkled donut, Dave. Get on board.
So let me give you another principle that I strongly believe in. Principle PLE. A principle I believe in is you can't steer a parked car. I believe you got to put things in motion so that you can adjust. So what I'm going to share with you is a car in motion, not to say jump behind the wheel and just drive where Schmitto goes, but take this, move it to where you want it to go. So this is an example, not for you to just replicate, but for you to move with. Okay. So an example. The first thing I did when I went and started serving as a turnaround principal in a school that was struggling for a long time was, this is going to be a shocker, but I eliminated monthly staff meetings. Eliminated them. And I know that makes some people excited. They're like, oh, sweet, that's the answer. You just eliminate. That's not what I did. Instead of eliminating these monthly staff meetings where I was creating this agenda that was 60, 90 minutes long, we would meet on the third Tuesday of every month or whatever. We flipped it up and we met every single morning for 10 minutes. Every morning for 10 minutes as opposed to once a month for 60 to 90 minutes. And the 10 minutes were very structured. The 10 minutes, we called them our morning huddles. A lot of teachers have morning meetings in their classrooms. We had a morning huddle. Every staff member came together. And in that time, we talked about what happened the day before that went well and what needed to be adjusted. We talked about the game plan for the day. Just basically picture a football huddle. You're designing the play, making sure everybody knows where they're supposed to be. And then we had a protocol at the last 5 minutes where we celebrated the successes of our teammates and our colleagues. We would pass out brag tags to the adults in the meetings who took innovative risks, who took a chance, who tried something nobody ever thought of before. If we recognized somebody stepping outside of their comfort zone and doing something that was crazy exciting, they got to wear a brag tag, and it became a part of their uniform that they wore around the school. Kids would then start asking their teachers, how did you get that? How did you earn that? And then they're telling this innovative story about something that they did and a risk that they took, encouraging kids to do the same thing. Teachers would only get the brag tags if they were there when they were being honored. I never took attendance at these meetings, but if they weren't there, they wouldn't hear what was happening throughout the day. They wouldn't know what if they were celebrated or honored. I started with the first probably 2 weeks facilitating these meetings, having to pull things out of teachers. By week 2, I got to just sit back and be a part of the show because teachers just rocked it and they loved it and they craved it. Getting together every single day and breaking bread as a family. Families sit around and they eat together. They hang out together daily, not once a month. So bringing people together every single day to talk and converse for 10 minutes when they knew in 10 minutes the kids were coming in and Schmitto can't just go off on a tangent and talk for 90 minutes, made it a place where people wanted to go and they came together and rocked and rolled. So take it, use it, scrap it, move from it.
Yeah. And one of the things I love about that, and again, I really like how you're like, this is an example, take it for what it's worth, but then like move with it, adapt it, design it in your own space. I really like that. For me, it would be an update for me as a teacher, but I also just need some positivity to amp me up for the day. Like I'm stoked to see my kids and I don't want to walk into a meeting that's going to like bring me down. And so being able to like celebrate others and hear innovative ideas that are going to challenge me and share some positivity just as the bell rings and I can go hustle and hang out with 11-year-olds, like count me in for that. That sounds great.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And again, take it, leave it, adjust it to your own. Maybe you're not ready to give up a staff meeting and you go to huddles every single day.
Right.
Got it. That struggle is real. But trying to figure out ways to incorporate even some of those strategies of celebrating and success and celebrating innovators and risk takers within the confines of your existing structure and schedule is a step in the right direction. So bring people together to celebrate, not just a challenge.
And I like that it's short, Dave. Like that has some urgency to it. Like I think if it was like 20 minutes, I might stroll in a few minutes late being like, whatever, it's 20 minutes long. But like 10 minutes, it really gives me like, oh, I got to go because otherwise I'm going to miss it. Like that really allows for teachers to, we work in like 10 to 15 minute increments. Like if you think about how we plan anyway, like I love that I'm like, okay, I have somewhere to be. It's going to be a short amount of time. It's going to be really effective and efficient. Like I got to go. And I think that a lot of those examples you share in the course are going to be things that everybody can then adapt and choose to implement starting tomorrow. I mean, that's something that you could start like a week in advance and be totally fine.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I need some of that. That's so good, Dave. All right. I do want to remind everybody how they can get access to the course. We've been talking now for 30 minutes about this course. So much energy, Dave. This is why I love being live with you. But I do just want to give you a shout out, even though I know it's going to make you blush, that this course really is amazing. The Teach Better team is so honored to not only have you on the team, but also just thrilled that you chose to put so many ideas in a course that now everybody has access to in the Teach Better Academy. And I'm just really thrilled that people who have already taken it are like taking these ideas and implementing them right away. And I saw in the comments, there's a lot of people who are going to take it with me. And so that's going to give us a little bit of fun that we can update you on as we go over the next few weeks exploring the course. So I really appreciate you, Dave.
Oh, I appreciate you as well. The whole team is just absolutely amazing. And I'm hoping that when people take the course, they'll start to recognize some of their ideas that permeated throughout as well, because that's really what it is. It's a collection of just good ideas that people have shared that we thought, let's just magnify these voices, amplify them, and let other people learn from them as well. So seek out your own administrators, your own leaders throughout this course. They might be in there somewhere.
So good. On that note, we will see all of you tomorrow morning for our daily drop-in that does end this week. It's at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. We have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday left, and then we're done, at least for the time being.
For now.
If you are not staying up to date on all the things going on at the Teach Better team, please make sure you follow us over on our Facebook page. Just click like so you get all the updates. You can also check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch for any time we go live. And I'm not going to be able to list everything going on with the team, guys, but I can tell you there's a lot. So go check all of it out. Dave, thank you again. And for everyone else, have a wonderful Tuesday evening. All right. Bye, guys.